Welcome to my first vegetable garden. Today I'm going to show you how to harvest peas. It's October 7th. I planted these peas and did two videos that showed you how to plant them and how to tend them and set up trellises. August 15th is when a lot of my peas went into the ground, maybe a week before that for some of them. And you can see how much they've grown in nearly 50 days. Peas are going to be ready somewhere between 50 and 70 days. There's not an exact time because a lot is based on your weather and based on, how well the peas just seem to be growing, how quickly they germinate, what happens with the weather. And again, it's October here, and the weather's been extra warm. So the peas at one point I think slowed down and almost stopped because we were hitting high 80s and 90-degree weather. But this is some of the peas, and when you pick, you want to make sure that you get your thumb right to the stem and just, well, you can see that I split it because I pulled too hard. You have to be very careful because the stems will break. But you want to put your thumb and finger right at the stem and pull back and hold this in place while you pull the pea off, or you can cut them off. Those aren't quite ready, but you can see this plant is just starting to produce. And I like to pick my peas before they get overly mature. This is one plant. Around the side here I have some more. This is the plant that I did with planting cilantro. That's not quite ready yet, but you can see it's growing. Here's another pea plant that's doing really well. There's some pods on there that can come off. And you can see that it's flowering. And finally the weather's starting to drop down. So I think this plant will keep going for another couple of weeks. And I'm only taking the pods that are pretty good size. Again, hold the stem and you can just pull the pea back and it separates. Whoa, just lost some. Over around this side is another pea plant that I planted a little bit later. And when you do planting of peas, you want to kind of do it over probably a 2-week period, if not maybe a 3-week period. And what happens is you'll get peas maturing at different times, so they all don't come at once and they all don't die out at once. And back here are just the peas that I grow for pea pods, and you can see how that they are flat. They're more like a stir-fry pea, but there's a lot of them that are ready in here. And same thing is hold the stem with your 2 fingers and pull back. And there's a good amount of peas in here. And these are actually to go right into a salad. But about 50 to 70 days after planting your peas, based on the variety, based on the weather conditions, you'll have peas that are ready to pick. And just be careful when you pick them. The stems are very fragile, and if you pull too tightly, you'll break them off. And you don't want to do that because you can see this pea is still growing and still flowering, and it really has a lot more growing time and a lot more peas to grow so that I can bring them to my table. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my other YouTube videos. Thanks.